Hi, let's talk about the structure of our eye. Our eyeball, held in a socket of the skull, called the orbit. Our eyeball attached to the skull by 3 pairs of eye muscles. And those muscles enable the eyeball to rotate in different directions. You can look up and down, left or right, or around a circle. When you look at your classmate, you may see that the eyebrow, eyelid, eyelash, and a part of the eyeball. In this chapter, we will look into different parts of our eye. For example, their functions and their structure. And here are the structures we are going to talk about. First of all, this is the outer parts of our eye. It's called cornea. It allows light to enter the eye, and it is curved surface, and it helps focus light onto the retina. Somehow, your parents or your teachers always told you that don't rub your eye. And that is because if you rub too hard, you may cause damage in your cornea. If there is sand or dust get into your eye and you rub it, the sand and the dust particle will roll over your cornea and left scratch on it. And those scratches may affect your sight. The next one is iris. For different kind of people, they may have different colors of iris, and it is to control the size of the pupil. It's just like a door in a circle shape, which let the light enter into the eye. And here is the pupil, and it is an opening at the center of the iris. It allows light to enter the eye. And here I want to ask you a question. What is the colors of the pupil? We know that we have different colors of iris because of our different genetic informations in our DNA. We can see that no matter we have different colors of iris, we have the same colors of pupil. Our pupil is in black color. And that is because when light passes through the pupil onto the retina cannot reflect light out from the pupil again. So, no light coming out from the pupil, that means we cannot see any color. And here is the lens. It focuses light onto the retina. The shape of the lens can be changed by the ligament and the muscle surrounded by the lenses. By changing the shape of the lens, we can control the light from different distance to fall on the retina. Inside our eye, it is full of jelly-like fluid. It maintains the shape of the eyeball. Finally, the light will fall on the retina. On the retina, it contains light-sensitive cells, and those sensitive cells can convert the light into some pulse of electric signals. And those messages from the light-sensitive cells, for example the pulse of electric signals, are connected and then sent along to the brain through the optic nerve. And here is the blind spot, and it is a point on the retina where the optic nerve leaves the eye. And it is because there is no light-sensitive cells on the blind spot. That means even there is light fall on the blind spot, the light cannot convert into the electric pulse to the brain. Sure, there is something we cannot see if we're using a single eye. Finally, it is the sclera, and it is a tough white coat, and it protects the eyeball. And here I will show you the dissections of an ox eye. First of all, I put an ox eye on a white paper. I give you some advice, is that firstly you found the optic nerve and hold it with a forceps. It is because when you cut away the eyelid and the fatty tissues, you may accidentally cut away the optic nerve. First of all, we cut away the eyelid and eye muscles surround and the fatty tissues around the eyeball. Although the sclera is tough, You should also be careful in this process. After all the eye muscles and the fatty tissues are removed, you can clearly see the sclera and the optic nerve. And now, we want to remove the cornea from the ox eye. You can hold the ox eye like this and squeeze it gently. And then use a scalpel, cut a hole like this in here. Once the hole is opened, insert a forceps in it. And you can use the forceps to hold the cornea, and use the scissor to cut a circle around the cornea. And this is the cornea. It's quite transparent, which allows light to pass through into the eye. From here we can see some green color from the back of the eye, and it is the retina. Now we want to examine the inner part of the eye, and we will use a scissor to cut the sclera like a cloth. Once the opening is large enough, the lens and the jelly-like fluid is about to come out. Just leave them on the paper. And what we see here is the retina. And now I'm pointing the blind spot. You can see that the blind spot is linked with the optic nerve. And now we want to separate the lens from the jelly-like fluid. When you put the lens on the newspaper, you can see that the word is magnified. After the experiment, you may obtain these four structures from the eye. The first one is the cornea, and then we have the lens and the jelly-like fluid, and also the sclera.